Hi everyone, I just want to show you a quick little mini album I did a while back. I was talking to my girlfriend Arlene this morning, and we were talking about acetate. So specifically embossing on acetate. Here's something I made, and I used a couple of things actually. I used distress paint, I used my embossing powder, I used alcohol ink, and I'm going to show you what I did here. So basically all the sheets are acetate, and there's about 4 pages, and this is just a small 4x4 mini album. So basically you can make this little mini album with just 2 sheets of the clear acetate, which is also known as transparency. So basically what I did was I got some alcohol ink. And normally you would dab the alcohol ink on top of the distressing tool, but instead what I do is I dip it on top of the actual acetate, and then I get the distressing tool and just kind of work around it. That's another way to do it, and that's pretty much how I did it. And then I just edged it with some StazOn ink, because StazOn ink works really well on acetate, and it works really good too on acrylic. Right here I just got my Crackle paint. I brushed the Crackle paint on top, and then I got the distressing powder, and then I heat set it. And the more distressing paint that you use, the bigger the cracks will be. I don't know if you could see that. Let's see. So the less you use, the smaller the cracks will be. And then this is a metal embellishment, which I did the same thing, the paint and the powder, and then I heat set it. And then this is just some grunge board, and I got my Versamark ink and stamped on top of it, and then I covered it with vintage photo distress powder. And basically it says "Key to My Heart." And this is also grunge board, and I ran out of the letter Y, so what I did was I used the negative of the Y, and then I got my Versamark pen and I colored the inside of the Y, and then I poured the distress powder on top, so it kind of looks like the Y is stamped onto the heart. And same thing with the heart. I did the same method. I put the embossing powder, and then I used the fired brick embossing powder on top, and then I edged it with some black soot distress powder. And then for this page, which is of my husband, because it's acetate, whatever is on the other side will obviously reflect on the other page. So I didn't really have to do much, because the distressing paint, you could see it already. It kind of looks like as if it was on the paper or on the acetate, which is really cool. So I just got my Versamark and I stamped one of my Tim Holtz image onto this side, and then I just added his photo, and then I edged his photo with a distressing tool, and then I added some grunge board. And this I use broken china, which I love, and then I edged it with the black soot distress ink. And then for this page, I used it, like I said, I get the alcohol ink and I just dab it onto the acetate, and then I work with the distressing tool. And keep in mind, it dries fast. So the minute you dab the alcohol ink on top, it'll dry quick, so you've got to work really quick with it. Otherwise you're going to get spots, and you don't want that. And then here I just stamped, it doesn't really show, but it spells artist. And then I use the distressing black soot powder. And then here I stamped an image, but I used the Versamark and I heat set it with clear embossing powder. I don't know if you can see that. And then I added a butterfly wing, and the first thing I did was I embossed it with my Swiss Dots embossing folder, and then I added the peeled paint, and then I added the Distress Black Soot ink and edged around it. And because of the dots are lifted, they're raised, I got Glossy Accent and added on each one of the raised dots. You can see that. So that's what I did with that page. And then the next page, I didn't have to do much, like I said. The back side, you don't really have to do a lot of work because the front side has most of the work on it. So it depends, basically. So this, I added some grunge board, which is made out of, which is a heart, and I added the Versamark and then the fired brick embossing powder, and then I added some I don't know if you could see it, I added some clear embossing powder on top. And then I added all my girls' initials. And because the pictures are actually not from actual photo paper, it's actually copied on cardstock paper. It looks better because it has that aged look, kinda. And I did print it, the photos in black and white, and then I just distressed over the pictures to give that aged look with the vintage photo, and then I edged it with the distressing tool. So that's what I did with that page. And then again, I got the StazOn ink and worked my way around it. And I tried to edge the acetate with my distressing tool, and it was kind of hard because it's very stiff, but I managed to get a couple of pieces. I don't know if you could see that torn. And then for this page, again, I did the distressed Crackle paint, and like I had mentioned, if you could see, the more thicker of the paint you apply, the bigger the cracks will be. And then I got the StazOn ink and I edged it, and then this is another Tim Holtz stamp where I stamped it with Versamark and then add the black soot distress powder, and then more grunge board, which this is a combination of peeled paint and vintage photo, and then edged with black soot distress ink. So I used mainly those colors, and then grunge board, and then this I added from the alcohol ink. So I got the alcohol ink and dabbed it onto the grunge board, and then I covered it with Glossy Accent. You can see the shine on that. And then the next page, like I'd mentioned, because of it shows to the other side because of the clear acetate, you'll see pretty much what's on the other side. So basically, on this side of the acetate, I alcohol inked it with a green, so it's a different color. And then more grunge board, and then this is with actual Utee on it. You could see that. And then more grunge board on here. And then again the StazOn. And then the last page, same thing. I got the alcohol ink and I just rubbed it, and then the StazOn around it, and then the Versamark, then the Distress ink, and then this is my dog Princess, and then edged the photo, and then her initials again with the grunge board and the Distress powder, black soot. You can see that. And then also, because I'm not putting an image on the back of her picture, I got the vintage photo and rubbed the distressing tool on top of it so it doesn't look white, too white. Even though the acetate is colored, it would stand out a little too much. So I don't know if you can see that. So that's what I did. It's a lot of embossing and a lot of Crackle paint, a lot of the Versamark. And it's a really fun mini album to do. It's messy, but that's the best part. So I hope you like it. Maybe I'll do a video on the techniques on embossing on acetate. Thanks for watching. Bye.